Yo, hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Angel and Faith, issue number 1. Take a look at this comic cover right here. Now, I think the wounds have finally healed. What wounds, do you ask? The wounds inflicted by Buffy Season 8. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to go on some kind of rant and long discussion about all the things I thought was wrong about the ending of Season 8 and what they did. How characters were out of character and how the storyline just didn't work. No, I already did that. It's been done. Time to move on because it's not going to do anything for anyone. It's not going to benefit anyone. But like I said, the wounds have healed, or at least for the most part have healed, and I am ready to get back into the Buffyverse. I'm ready to jump right back into it with hopeful thoughts that it will do well this time around. And what better way for me to get back into the Buffyverse than for Angel and Faith issue number 1? Why, you ask? Reason number 1. Angel is my favorite character in the Buffyverse. I love Angel. His TV show was my favorite TV show. I loved his comic series After the Fall. I just love Angel. And out of all the characters from Season 8 that got screwed over, Angel was the one that got screwed the most. Was the most out of character and really has a lot that needs to be answered for when it comes down to him. Not necessarily for the character himself, but for the character in general. A lot of things need to be resolved, and I want to see that resolved. Reason number 2. Faith. I feel as though Faith is one of the characters from Season 8 that really didn't get as much exposure as she should have. I like Faith. She's one of my favorite Buffyverse characters. And I feel as though she was really kind of given the short end of the stick when it comes down to appearances in the Buffy Season 8 comic. Granted, she did have a story arc or two to herself. It really wasn't too much. So, we get Faith in this, and hopefully a good amount of her. And reason number 3. Well, I'm more ready to get back into Faith and Angel, characters that I like and characters I want to see repaired, for lack of a better term, than get into Season 9 of Buffy. I'm still kind of on the fence on whether or not I'm willing to fully jump into Buffy's comic, but when it comes down to the Buffy universe, I'm good with Angel and Faith. So, there's a lot riding on this issue because, like I said, my feelings were hurt. I accepted the apology, Joss Whedon, that you had at the end of Buffy issue number 40 for Season 8. I accept the apology, and I think you understand where you went wrong, but my feelings were still hurt. So, a lot is riding on this issue to impress me. The question is, will it? So let's actually jump into issue number 1. Issue number 1 of Faith and Angel starts with a flashback of Giles helping out a girl that has a demon possessing her. He, of course, saves the day, and then we flash forward to, well, today, with Faith and Angel fighting that demon that's possessing the girl. Apparently he didn't exorcise it, rather just subdued the demon with his own happy memories. Anyways, so Angel and Faith take on this demon, and they're able to stop it, Angel the one doing so. We find out that Angel has been in a catatonic state since Season 8 of Buffy, which is where he left off in that condition, up until this very point where he kind of just snapped out of it and decided to go off and do things that were related to Giles. We're going to jump into that a little bit more towards the end. The two of them then go their separate ways, saying that they're going to meet back up at the end of the night. Faith goes off and meets up with some slaves who are incredibly pissed at Angel when he was Twilight, and Angel kind of goes off and disappears until the end of the comic. When the two meet up again, they start talking about where they want to go from here. And Angel says that he has an idea, a plan of something that he wants to do. And it involves Giles, or at least the memory of Giles. But I don't want to really reveal what that is because, well, it's a spoiler. We also get introduced to a brother-sister sibling duo that are most likely going to be the enemies for the first story arc, maybe even possibly for the comic for some time. See, these demons were employed under Angel when he was Twilight, and as much as he tried to get these demons to kill other demons rather than humans, he couldn't control them the whole entire time. And these guys look semi-intimidating. But that's the basic story. Angel and Faith talking with each other about Angel being Twilight and Giles, and Angel having this plan to deal with Giles and his memory and his work, and then exorcising this demon from this kid. On to the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. Well, I have to give a lot of credit to the writer and artist of this group because Angel and Faith, their voices, it sounds like Angel and Faith in that they have a good voice for these characters. When I read this, it sounds like I'm reading Faith. It feels like I'm reading Angel, although Faith more than Angel. Angel still's kind of whiny, but that's to be expected given the circumstances that we left him off in. I also like how Angel is proactive in this. It's not like he's brooding about what he did. He says, I screwed up, I'm going to do something about it. How proactive he is, I don't necessarily agree with, at least at what direction, but I'll get into that when I go into the bad, so hold on that. But I do like how he's a proactive Angel, not a brooding one. And I like how Faith is a character that's kind of in a good place in her life. She has nothing wrong going on. She's okay with who she is. She's matured and she's grown, and I like that. It feels like there's growth for this character. And of course, the character interactions between the two is nice. Angel and Faith always had a beautiful relationship in that it was never a romance and was a relationship based off understanding, friendship, and healing. No one can help Faith better than Angel, and no one can help Angel better than Faith, with maybe the exception of Cordelia. Buffy should definitely not be involved with these two when they need to get back on their feet because, well, Buffy is toxic to both of them when it comes down to healing. So these two work well with each other. They have good dialogue with each other. I like the interaction. Bad. Well, there wasn't too much to the story. Although we did get some of the villains that are thrown in there, and I'm actually intrigued by these villains, it wasn't really all that much, and I would like to see more. Now, remember when I was saying I liked how Angel was proactive, just not in the way he was proactive? Well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but Angel has an idea dealing with Giles. And what this idea is, it's just silly. Because, see, chances are it's not going to happen. It's going to utterly fail. And it's going to be a waste of time. However, if it did work and it did happen, it would just screw the whole pooch with Season 8. Again, not revealing too much. So I really didn't like that last scene with what Angel says he's going to do. In addition to that, there wasn't too much action in this. Not that there needs to be any action. I mean, you can have a whole character and plot-driven story. However, this is issue number 1, and I need a good pow, bam, kicking ass, helping the helpless, all that kind of stuff. I would have liked to see more of that. But it's not that big of a deal because the issue does have a decent character interaction and plot going on. Actually, a pretty good character interaction and plot going on. Not just decent, good. On a whole, whether or not you should get it. Well, Angel and Faith issue number 1 wasn't the best first issue I've ever read. However, compared to what we've had with Buffy in season 8 towards the end, the last couple issues, this is a sigh of relief. I have to commemorate the team on this because the art looks good. I really like how Angel and Faith looks. The dialogue between the two is good. They have a good voice for these characters. And I think they have a good handle on these characters. Well, issue number 1 was okay. I feel as though there are better things to come. And this is just another piece in the big puzzle that is going to be the story arc, which apparently is called Living Through This, because it says Living Through This Part 1. So I have to give credit to the people that write and draw this. With that said, I do recommend picking this up. Although it's not the best first issue I've seen, it still is a good issue. It's entertaining, it's enjoyable, it lays down the basic groundwork. Here's where Angel's at, here's where Faith is at, here is where the Slayers are at, because again, the Slayers show up in this, depowered, but still show up. And also, here are the villains, and here is the motivation for the characters. It does it. It gives you the basics that you need to know, and I look forward to good stuff coming from this comic in the future. Here's holding out hope. It's not quite Angel After the Fall greatness, because that was the best of the Buffyverse comics. That and Spike After the Fall was pretty good too. But it still is good, it's still enjoyable, and it's better than the ending material that we got at Season 8. Because, see, Season 8 started off so great, but the ending material was just... But this is pretty good. So I do recommend picking it up. With that said, this is Andrew saying, peace out for now.